What's up? Hello, Facebook. I've missed you. It's been a long time since I've done a Facebook Live. I got Lucy here. Lucy, say hi. I am in the office today, working away. I want to show you, just take you behind the curtain right here. Just to show you right there, I got the intimacy upgrade. I'm about to do a webinar for my tribe, but I really wanted to jump on and share what's been going on. Hey, Shamila, what's going on? Hey. So it's been a challenging year for me, and it sent me into one of those identity crises. Hi, Mina. It sent me into one of those identity crises, and I thought, you know what? Who the hell am I? It's one of those experiences when you go through a challenging time, you're looking at yourself and trying to find out who it is that you are. One of the benefits of an identity crisis is that it gets you to sort out all of the things that you've been kind of having in the background but not really wanting to face, and it kind of puts you in a position to face it. And I went through a breakup, and it had me rocked to my core and looking at certain things about my life, about myself, about my blind spots that I didn't want to look at, that I didn't want to see. And one of the things that I realized is in this journey of trying to figure out who I am, I've been a chiropractor. For those of you who've never met me before, I've been a chiropractor for the past 16, 17 years. And I love being a chiropractor, helping people transform their healing from their spine, their nervous system. What I discovered was the frustrating fact that people actually don't heal unless they change their behavior. And I discovered that I love to become a teacher. If I wanted to make a difference in my patients' lives, then it was time for me to actually teach them how to change their behaviors so that they can actually heal, rather than putting it all on my responsibility. So in that journey, I discovered that teaching people about behavior and stress, I found that my message usually was tied into the shit that I was going through during that particular time. So everything that I was going through during that particular time that was challenging and stressful, that I was learning, that was my mess, I was finding that was becoming what I was teaching. So in other words, my mess was becoming my message. And what happens is we teach what we most need to learn. And I needed to learn how to deal with my stress. So I started teaching about stress. And then I went through some challenging times with going through leaving my profession and selling my practice. I went through an identity crisis. And through that, I discovered some amazing tools, got some mentors, and my message a couple of years ago became how to go from a transitional anxiety through your career, through any type of transition. There's an anxiety that's kind of involved. So I kind of became this expert teaching people about transitional anxiety. I had a great time doing it. And Amanda and I traveled around the world, and we were teaching people how to really go from that space of limbo, not knowing if they wanted to stay or they wanted to go, how to become powerfully aligned with who you are, with your truth, moving forward. And one problem with that was that things blew up so fast and became so successful so quickly that I kind of lost sight of doing the work on myself, and I actually didn't look at certain truths that were there that I basically was sweeping under the rug. And what ended up happening was during this breakup, it had me look at the truth, and I discovered some things that I didn't really like. And what I discovered was that although I'm very good at being intimate with an audience, getting vulnerable, getting real, in my personal life, in my personal relationships, that's been a barrier. And so I also discovered that I live my life like I have constantly something to prove to little Nima, that deep down inside, and it's stored in the cells of my body, and all the cognitive work I can do really doesn't get rid of it or eliminate it. What I discovered was that little Nima, just like the wounded child in all of us, didn't believe he was worthy or he could do it alone. And so when we are disconnected from that wounded inner child, hey, Debbie, long time no see. What's up, Ramin? What's up, Alex? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to get some engagement if anything that I'm sharing with you is relevant. So my big challenge was that I really wanted to become aligned with a relationship in my life that I could actually feel 100% congruent in. But the obstacle, the problem with that, the reason why is because if we don't have healthy relationships, the research shows if we don't have healthy relationships in our lives, then our health suffers. We don't do as well financially. We don't do as well in our careers. Relationships, hey Janet, JT, what's up? Relationships seem to be the most important thing that drives the fulfillment in our lives. So I knew that if I didn't learn how to get that deep, intimate connection with myself, I was never going to be able to create that. And it starts internally with the relationship with my wounded inner child and myself. And so I went on this journey, and what I discovered was pretty freaking incredible. And I really want to show it to you. I want to show it to you right now, first and foremost, because I want to, for those of you just joining, I'm about to do a webinar in just a few minutes, Intimacy Upgrade. It's a 3.0. I'm doing a second week program, and I want to show you guys what the revelations are. So check this out right here. I did this little diagram because I'm a very visual person. So check this out. So this is how you get more intimate with yourself and others. This is how you create amazing relationships, okay? So check this out. It starts with this, all right? So here we have nervous system regulation. If you don't have a regulated nervous system, you're going to become highly reactive. You're going to take things personally. You're not going to sleep very well. You're not going to digest very well. You're not able to process emotions very well. You block, you numb, you hide. All of that crap starts happening because your nervous system is not regulated. But when you get it right, you're actually calm. Your anxiety levels go from here all the way down. You're able to sit in your body. You're able to regulate. You're able to have control. Thanks for the love, baby. Missed you. Thanks for the love. Next thing that you got to do in order to have a really deep, intimate relationship with others. Check this out. This is where I went through. Your primary caregivers. You got to give up the victim story. And I didn't even realize I go around telling people that, oh my goodness, you got to love your family for who they are. And I've done a shit ton of personal work on getting complete with mom and dad. However, whenever you bump up against expansion, those old stories come back, kind of these old wounds come back, kind of forcing you to go back to your primitive primary caregivers, mom and dad, and look at those victim stories again and transform them. So that's step number 2. And when you get that right and you have your nervous system regulated, you go from being always distracted, not being present with your children, your business, to actually getting a sense of presence. The third part, the most important part, is shadow work, is loving the dark passenger. In other words, loving yourself. Taking all of the shameful parts of you, the parts that you can't stand, the parts that you are using your compulsions and addictions to run away from. The key component of that is to actually look at them in the eye. Look at them in the eye. And guess what? Here's the key. This is what we're talking about. The ego shadow part, guess where it comes from? Don't you love my drawing? My drawings are amazing. This is you, and this is your wounded inner child. And what we're doing is a concept called reparenting, which is, I'm becoming very visual, is really connecting your heart to the heart of your wounded inner child. Don't you love my drawing? Just admit it. You love the drawing. It's amazing. So that's the key. That's how you love the shadow. That's how you love the wounded inner child, is by consistent work. And that's what I'm teaching this in about 15 minutes. I can't wait. And then last part, you got to have a commitment to it, and you got to be connected to a community. One of the greatest things that I did for myself was that I joined a couple men's groups. We got accountability. And the last part is really learning communication, empathy, and conflict resolution strategies. With those things, you basically learn how to have an intimate relationship with yourself first. And when you don't have that right, what happens is we start to build codependent relationships. We show up in relationships desperate. We withhold our truth in fear of losing the other person, and then we're not authentic, and we're not able to have fulfilling relationships because we don't have one with our own damn selves. And so we teach what we most need to learn. This happens to be the thing. Hey Trev, what's up? Are you going to be on the group call?
Not today.
Not
Thursday.
today. He's on
Thursday.
on my Thursday group call. And so it's super duper important to do that inner work. It's just consciousness work. And I'm going to be sharing in about 15 minutes with my group, Intimacy Upgrade. What are we talking about? We're talking about regulating your reactivity, which is reparenting the wounded inner child. I wanted to show you guys here. This is my setup with the lights, everything. I got my stand-up desk. I'm going to be on in a matter of maybe 10, 15 minutes. I just wanted to show you guys because I'm delighted to be sharing. Now, those of you who aren't yet, in my circle and you're watching this and you're curious, you want to find out more, I'm going to send a link here. I have a 3-hour workshop that's a live stream coming up on Sunday in North America, early Monday morning hey, Debbie, glad I'm back too. I'm going to send the link. The link will be right underneath. Register for it. It's a free live stream workshop where I go into detail. It's 3 hours. 3 hours long on Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, but it'll be early Monday morning in Australia. And join me. And it's live, and it's going to be interactive. It's going to be in a show, in a studio. I'm pretty stoked. I'm going to have guests on. I'm going to go into detail about how to take all of that limbo that you're feeling, that stuckness, that relationship anxiety. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a romantic relationship. It could be in one of the relationships at work, because the principles of this are all one and the same. Those of you who've been part of it or are part of it, please share this or tag somebody that you know that definitely needs to be there. It's drnima.com/intimacy. drnima.com/intimacy. Get registered right now and show up, grab popcorn, be there with your sweetheart, especially if you're in the Vancouver area. You're going to have an opportunity to ask questions. I really look forward to sharing with you guys. Follow the link underneath, and I promise you, you're going to have an amazing time. We're going to hang out together. I haven't decided if I'm going to do my new rap song. It's called Be a Man. It's really cool. Learned it, connected with a men's group. And so definitely join in, follow the link below, and I'll see you at the next perfect time. It's good to be back, peeps.